November 24th, 2018. Well, we're starting to get back into some Raspberry Pi programming stuff. And I'm going to try and speak up, so I apologize if it sounds like I'm yelling, but it's pouring rain out there. It's about 40 degrees. It's downright nasty out. And we're sitting inside here at, I don't know, about 70 degrees or so. And furnace is running. And that feels nice. Got the old solar LED lights on for working. I had a sensor go bad in the upper thermal mass here. I have two sensors in there, a high and a low, and the two are averaged to calculate what the average temperature is. And then that average is used to calculate how many BTUs we have in storage. That, of course, is used to calculate whether or not that's different enough from the main thermal bank that it's worth justifying turning on the circulation pump to pump heat from that tank to this tank. Okay, so you understand the scenario. I had a sensor go bad. They go bad about, pardon me, got some music going here. They go bad about once every year, year and a half, I find, in boiling water, which I think is pretty good for a sensor that's cost you $2. They're waterproof, 3 foot long, stainless steel in the end. And if they last a year and a half in boiling or near boiling water, high temperatures for long periods, I'm very happy. That's pretty good. Anyway, had one go bad. Once in a while they do. I think this is the third one I've had gone bad in the top thermal mass since 2016 when I started Raspberry Pi stuff. So I just came in and desoldered the old one. I hope my light isn't glaring too much. And soldered a new one in. So I desoldered the old one, and then I come up here and I go into terminal. And you'll see I use the command ls for list, and then /sys/bus/w1/devices, and that lists everything in the directory for me. So what I do before I add the new sensor is I list it, then I add the new sensor, and then to check to make sure it's working, I list that directory again. And that does two things for me. One, it tells me if the new sensor is working at a very easy glance, because you'll see they're arranged in rows of 5 here. We have a row of 4 in the end, column, I'm sorry. And here we show 6 in the column and 5 here, I think. Yeah, 6 and 5. So you realize that you've got to change right away to know that new sensor is working. And then from that, with your eyes, you can pretty easily sort out by looking at the last 4 or 5 address digits of each sensor between the two listings and figure out what your new sensor is. That's this one here for this. And then you can take that and plug that into your code. The main point I wanted to make about this video, and let me just show an example of what else is going on here. I have my heat pump, fan controls, CPU monitoring and cooling and all that kind of stuff, all under one script. And so in those scripts I've added on over time that when the script runs, it prints out each sensor's value, so that when I'm diagnosing stuff I can look at it real easy and compare it. So I put the new sensor on, it was showing 65 degrees, and then I put it into the hot reservoir, which I know by the other sensor is about 130 degrees. And so when I do that, I see the second sensor, H4, is the one that went bad, come up to 134 degrees very quickly. So I know that I've got the right sensor, and now I've confirmed it because the temperature swings when I change the sensor's, where it's at with respect to temperature. You can put it in ice water, you can put it in warm water, you can hold it in your hand and stand in a cold room against the other sensors, anything just to make it stand out for diagnostics. So anyway, my point is, what I would do when you're writing Python scripts is, from time to time as you add new sensors, go through your Python script that's running your code, whether you're logging to a database or you're running controls. Go through your code, pull out each sensor's address, and make a separate script of that. And what I'll do tonight is make a separate script, and how do I share that? Really need to get a website up. Well, maybe I'll just go over it in the video. Or show a screenshot of it in the video. That's what I'll do, just so you can see how you do that. Anyway, you make up a script where all your sensors are in that script, and so then if you have a sensor go bad, you can run that script and see what each sensor's value is easily. This will help you with diagnostics tremendously, and plus you'll have the reference when you go into the script of what each sensor's address is and what it corresponds to in values in your Python code and in your database if you're logged into a database. So anyway, I hope this helps someone. I'm going to call this Raspberry Pi Part 11A. And I want to say that very soon I'll be getting back to the next sections in the Raspberry Pi series on how to set up your own Raspberry Pi to monitor, control, run greenhouses, furnaces, whatever. So thank you to my subscribers. Thank you especially to Zendax Salat, I hope I pronounced that correctly, for supporting me on Patreon. I hope that other people who are in a position to do that will do that. If not, please like, subscribe, and share videos anyway, and share the knowledge. Thanks for watching Pharmacy Seeds Network.
The Pharmacy Seeds Network YouTube channel is here to provide educational materials related to farming and gardening. Our primary focus is to educate farmers, gardeners, homesteaders, preppers, and other self-reliant people to grow better food through organic methods, but at a higher standard. Our focus is on high-brix farming, using combinations of trace minerals, rock dusts, foliar feeds, essential oils, balanced soils, and appropriate biology to facilitate truly healthy plants that are both pest and disease resistant, as well as far more productive. In amongst this main goal, we intend to include many technical details for layout, heating, cooling, water pumping, and too many other farm-related operations to list. Through education, we can make our farmers and gardeners more self-reliant, close fertility loops, reduce pesticide usage, increase productivity, and preserve ecology for future generations, which fortifies our food system as well as our sovereignty. Ultimately, all this comes back together to make healthier, happier people, with the same effect echoing down through communities and ultimately around the planet. To that end, if you believe in our cause and wish to support us, it is greatly appreciated. Any amount you give helps.
Hi, I'm Carlton from the Pharmacy Seeds Network.
So now that you know what the channel is about, let me tell you a little bit about Patreon. Patreon is an easy way for you to support my channel and the projects that I'm working on. A lot of these projects, people give me most of the pieces parts, and I scrounge pieces parts in the woods, and I cut my own trees and lumber and timber, but sometimes I can't source those parts. Sometimes I have to pay out of pocket for those parts, and I don't always have the money to do that. So your Patreon help can help with that and other projects. As a Patreon subscriber, as time goes on, I will start releasing videos on Patreon first, and then eventually onto YouTube, so you'll get to be part of the first release of videos. And when we reach 200 patrons, we're going to put a website up, and we'll put all sorts of extra videos, documentation, and all sorts of other information. We'll make that available to our Patreon supporters. And if you wanted to become a first tier provider, you could get your name in the credits on the YouTube videos if you're interested in that. I hope you find our channel interesting and intriguing. I hope you'll support us on Patreon if you can. If you can't, I hope you'll just enjoy the channel and spread it and share it with others, and spread and share that knowledge and information. That's really the goal. Thanks for watching, and I hope you'll support the Pharmacy Seeds Network on Patreon.